All right, good morning, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting of the Madison County Preliminary Development Review Committee to order. We do have a quorum today, so we need to adopt an agenda. So if everyone would have a look at the agenda and any changes we need?
Move to adopt.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The chair votes aye. All right, so consent agenda, we have to approve the minutes from February 3rd of 2026.
I was absent, so.
All right, thank you.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Very good. Chair votes aye. Mr. Weekly will abstain as well. All right, we have two cases to discuss today in new business. First one, Shannon Lillard has requested an exploratory meeting for a special use permit for a pet grooming and kennel facility on property identified as Madison County Tax Map 57-28, which is located on Good Hope Church Road. The subject parcel is 59 acres and is zoned A1. A kennel is a special permit use in the A1 zoning district under Madison County Code of Ordinances Appendix 1, 4-2-1, and Appendix 1, 3-2-16. Minimum area per use is 3 acres in A1 zoning. And so, let's see, bear with me doing double duty today. Ms. Lillard is with us. If you're having a hard time seeing, Betsy, that's fine. We can make it whatever adjustment you'd like. So property on Good Hope Church Road, you can see there's an existing dwelling on the property, and the area identified near the front of the property is where the applicant has stated that they would like the kennel to be. Ms. Lillard is here with us today. I have a microphone here. If you'd be kind enough to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the project that you'd like to do.
My name is Shannon Lillard. I've been a dog groomer. I started in 2002. Pretty much lost count of how many years. But yeah, I've been doing this for a really long time. I wasn't really aware that I needed to have a permit. And so we were just about to try to build something there. So we're just here to apply for the permit. Like I said, we work from home. We just had a son. So main thing is just to get a space built, because right now I actually work in my home. So yeah, that's pretty much, it's pretty simple. That's it.
For some added context, Ms. Lillard does have the business existing. And we did become aware of that, and so we approached her about getting the permit so that way she could operate lawfully. So while I'm sure some comments will come up that she's been doing this for a long time, that's true, but we're just trying to make sure that we're doing all of the proper permitting associated with it.
Yeah.
Questions for the applicant?
Sure, why not?
All right.
So I guess one of my questions I'd written down earlier was whether or not you had checked with your neighbors, but apparently you've been ongoing with this business for roughly how many years?
So I started grooming in 2002, but I lived in Richmond at that point, and that's where I learned to groom, and worked at several kennels since then. I moved here about 15 years ago in Aurora, Madison, and I've probably been grooming about 10 years or so from my house.
And I will abstain because I use her services. She's really good.
I'm sorry, what, Tracy?
I'm going to abstain because I have used her services. She's
Um,
very good.
Yeah.
So, any complaints from your neighbors about?
No,
have
all
these
of our
been-
neighbors love us. We have Susan Yoder. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with her, but she lives right across the street from us. And, you know, the Mennonites, all of our neighbors we either work with, work for, or are friendly with. Yeah, we don't have any issues with our neighbors.
You've been doing overnight stays with this?
Yeah, but we, you know, we don't, like I said, we don't have a kennel or anything. We just pet sit, like you would say, my niece, can you watch my dog for the weekend? And, you know, so that's what we've been doing. You know, it's nothing huge. It's not like we have 30 dogs, you know.
How many do you have
Oh,
roughly?
it depends on a busy weekend. Like if you get Christmas or like July when it's busiest, we might take in 4 or 5, depending on, because sometimes, you know, like I have clients that have like 5 or 6 Chihuahuas, you know, so that might be like a whole family's dogs, you know. So and we don't mix dogs. Obviously, we haven't had any complaints. We're very safe. Like I said, I've worked in kennels for years, so you know, we definitely have our own policies put in place to keep everything clean and safe.
So you already have that set up?
Yeah,
That
like I
way,
said, I have
yeah.
one room in my house that I just have a small table. You know, my table, room and table goes up and down. You don't really need a lot of space, you know, for that. And then we have a small stainless steel tub. Yeah, just in a parlor room.
Okay, I was thinking more of these large kennels that they have the dogs come and stay
No,
and
it's
all
very
those
much like a-
different things.
No, it's very much like a home. Like if you were to bring your dog, it's gonna go. We have spare bedrooms upstairs, so it'd be much like it's in a bedroom. And that's kind of how I want to keep it. When they say building a kennel, I don't really want to do like outdoor chain link, concrete kind of thing. I want it to be more like small rooms that look like rooms, you know, like the dog would be in a bedroom. And we use baby gates. Sometimes have to double them if you have a large dog that wants to jump. But yeah, you know, it's very much just like what you would have at home. And that's
Okay.
kind of how I want to keep it, very personal.
Perfect.
Mr. Nichols, if I may, I don't know if that's what's in our packet, or is that our actual active GIS? I was gonna ask you to turn on the layers.
We can pull up whatever you'd like.
Ms. Lillard, I'm looking at the packet here Mr. Nichols has prepared, and from the satellite view, it appears that there's some wooded buffer or tree line buffer between you and, I guess, even the easement that goes through your property. There's a driveway. Are you looking to build that in the open green space, or?
Yeah, on either side of our driveway is pasture. And so, yeah, we're going to have it a little bit off the road because I want to have, you know, fencing, and I don't want anybody to get in
So
the
in
road.
that green kind of pasture or field area right there? Okay.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, but as far off the road as we can. And we may get rid of that thicket. There's like a, you know, bushy thicket there. We might get rid of that because, I mean, we're also in the process of maybe trying to put up a house. So it's just kind of a lot going on.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask, to remind me what size building you intend to put up?
You know, I'm so bad with sizes, but me and my husband were talking like maybe 30 by 30 or 40 by 40. I'm not really good at the sizes. Like this is very, you know, very early start, new for us.
How many dogs do you think you are gonna wanna take care of?
I want to keep it small. I would say like 15 at the most. Like for boarding at a time, I wouldn't do more than that. Yeah, I would say.
I would think that
It's
before it
all
comes in front-
relative, you know, because if you get like, you know, you don't want, it's funny, like I said, with the Chihuahuas, I have a lot of families that have like 4 Shih Tzus, you know, and it's different if you take care of 3 or 4 families that have 3 or 4 Shih Tzus versus if you have, you know, I don't want to have a kennel where I have like, I worked at kennels that have this like 10 labs in there and like 5 Huskies and loud and, you know, I want it to be more of a personal, I don't know if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say, but.
I would make the recommendation, though, that before this comes to the planning commission, that you would have a better idea
Yeah,
of the size of the building and
Yes.
how many animals you want to take care of and that
Okay.
kind of thing, because
Yeah.
they'll be asking those questions.
right, okay, yep.
Will you be using the same entrance as you do for your residents, or constructing new?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make it come off into a circle drive. That way, you know, it's not gonna clog. And I mean, as far as the traffic, I would think the traffic wouldn't change much because I don't really want to expand too much. so much as, just have a separate facility outside of my house, is the main thing.
I can tell you, some of the other questions that have come up with the planning commission in the past.
Sure.
They'll be asking you about, when you use the word feces.
Oh,
Where's all
sure.
that gonna go?
Sure.
The pee, and how you're gonna dispose of that kind of
Sure.
thing.
Well,
So
right now
there'll
we
be-
compost. We compost because we always had horses. So we would always scoop, and we still have pigs, and we have chickens, geese, and ducks. So right now we still compost, and we have a few areas that we take it in the property and cover it up,
And you'll
so,
be serving the public,
yeah.
so that I'm sure a restroom or something probably.
Yeah,
will be
yeah,
talked about.
the rest of the facility would have a restroom, yeah, running water, electricity, bathroom, yeah. Coffee bar.
Of course.
All right, to the panel, other questions?
Just one other, I think. I was just kind of curious. I was looking at the satellite picture earlier, and this little other thing that I can't quite make out what all these little square-looking things are in the middle of that field.
Where is it at?
It's a large property, Mr. Snyder, but say where?
Yeah, right here,
That's
right
hay-
there.
that's hay
Oh,
bales.
hay bales, yeah, they're
Oh,
round,
oh,
round
okay.
bales, yeah,
Okay.
round stretch bales for cows. Yeah, cow bales. That's actually our neighbor. He's got cows, but he stores our hay over there, or his hay, over in our field on occasion. We just let him, because he didn't have a lot of space. I think he's only got like an acre and a half or two right there.
In response to Mr. Gordon's inquiry about the entrance there, before the applicant will be able to build, she'll have to submit a site plan, and so we'll send that to VDOT. We don't have them here today, but we would certainly send that plan to VDOT, and they'll evaluate the entrance based on the traffic count proposed at that time. Anything else from our panel?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll invite our stakeholders to.
Alan, I'll just chime in real quick. Of course, when they construct this building, they'll have to comply with the state building code and all the various requirements for a business, including accessibility and bathroom and all that good stuff.
Right.
All right, Emily?
Okay, so I did hear you say that there would be some plumbing in the structure. So obviously, you're going to have a drain field connected to that building. So you would just have to reach out to, they call them on-site soil evaluators. You know, they're basically soil scientists that come out and design a system. That would be considered a commercial type system, so that you would need an engineer to do a wastewater characterization. But the soil folks, they work with them. It's not too painful of a process. As far as animal waste, we don't regulate. VDH doesn't regulate animal waste, but that, obviously that's something you will have to think about because of neighbors. We've had those issues. People call our office about that kind of stuff. And then, water will be connected
Yeah.
to the structure.
Yeah, we plan to have it just like you would have like a, I guess what, I don't know what you would call it, like a barn dominium, kind of, it's going to be much like a house, but not a house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically, in a nutshell, what you'll need to do as far as health department.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Emily, would you mind passing that one back? But say, Greg, you have something to?
If we would, we probably should have done this earlier, just announce who you are and the department you represent, so Ms. Lillard knows advice where she's getting it from.
Greg Cave, Animal Control.
Yeah.
The application says pet grooming and kennel, SUP.
Yep.
So I pulled up the state codes, and the definition under kennel, it does have training, renting, buying, boarding, selling, or showing. Are you just looking just to do the boarding and grooming?
Yeah, it would just be boarding and grooming. Just like, like I said, I've been a dog groomer since 2002, so I don't think I haven't had dreams and all kinds of visions and things. But in the off side of my head, I do have friends that are dog trainers, and I always thought it would be nice for them to come out and do like little training expos if I ever got a business of my own. So not saying that's not like off into my mind, but I don't train dogs. Well, I can, but I'm not doing it. So not for a profession, but yeah, no, just the boarding and grooming. Yeah, that's just what I do. And I mean, cats. I do cats on occasion, so not just dogs, but yeah.
Any type of vaccinations you're going to require your clients to have?
Rabies vaccinations, of course, parvo distemper vaccines. The Bordetella one, that's kind of controversial. I'm not sure, if it's regulated that I have to get that one. But I know that's one people don't really, they kind of bypass that one a lot. But in every kennel I've worked at, it's always been rabies, distemper, Bordetella, parvo shots.
And the facility is going to be climate controlled?
Yeah, heat and air conditioning for sure. Yeah, all the dogs that I work with mostly are frou-frou. So you gotta have the heat and air conditioning. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I have at this time.
Do you have any recommendations going forward in your thoughts? You certainly could provide that at a later time or decline, but
Yeah, I would, just like Mr. Snyder said, I would like to see like the, pretty much like we did with the other facility that was, I believe it was Hart. Just see like the size of the building, actually maybe do like an inspection of it to see, just,
Yeah.
check it out ahead of time. And, number one thing is see how many the number of animals you're looking
Yeah.
to do at one time.
Yep.
So, because, obviously, we may be getting calls, of course, if you have a large number of animals you're gonna be boarding.
Sure, for noise.
The noise
Mhm,
and stuff like
sure.
that.
Yeah, completely understand that. Okay.
all right. Any other comment from stakeholders? What about the public? Anybody care for a public comment?
Sure.
Very good. All right. Back to the committee. What would you all like to do?
Mr. Chairman, I'm, move that we, send the, assuming the applicant or the, Ms. Lillard wishes to submit an SUP applicant, that would be forwarded to the planning commission for review and consideration.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to recommend that an application be submitted for a special use permit and move to the planning commission. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? The chair votes aye. All right, very good. Thank you, Ms. Lillard. We will be in touch shortly about getting your application for a special use permit, and then we'll get you scheduled to go forward. So you're welcome to stay if you like, or you don't have to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yep. All right. So, our next case. Get to where we're going here. All right, next case number to be determined. Nathan Webster, on behalf of Brent Lohr, has requested an exploratory meeting regarding the rezoning of the parcel located at 531 Cedar Hill Road and further identified as Madison County Tax Map 40-108A from B1 with conditions to B1. The subject parcel is 3.522 acres. The purpose of the rezoning is to restore the full rights associated with B1 properties that were proffered away during a prior rezoning action in February of 1991. So this is the property that Greenscapes is currently located on, that most of us are familiar with. And back in 1991, the board rezoned the property from R1, residential limited, to B1 Business General, but only with two of the, and this is in your paper packet too, I know the screen's not up back there, but the big yellow piece of paper. Well, while only keeping two of the uses. So they had retail sales and agricultural supply store. So now, let's say the property owner would like to sell, and their potential purchaser has a service-based business that they would like to operate there, so they're seeking to rezone to be one similar to what Mr. Heggie applied for last year. So our applicant is here. Mr. Webster is with us for any of the questions and discussion you may have. So if I summed it up for you, great. If not, you can chime right in.
So it's just typical trying to switch it from B1 conditions to standard B1 so the sale of the property can go through.
All right, any questions from our panel at all? Yours is going to go quick.
I have a comment, and I think it looks good. Appreciate that.
Very good.
City business district, and I think it ought to be allowed wherever you want to have it.
In the interest of transparency, and I did ask the potential purchaser if we could share, but say Nathan Cowan would like to relocate his business there. So he didn't mind us sharing. All right, so any other comments or questions from our committee? All right, let's say hearing none, let's go to our stakeholders. So Greg got the microphone for you there. So this would simply be going from the store to the different business. Is there anything in that kind of use that would affect?
I don't think so. Everything's, there. Yeah, I can't think of anything at the moment.
All right. Well, how about any public comments? Let's see. Anybody else like to, because I assume, Greg, that you don't have a animal control issue. All right.
I guess I do have a question. I don't think there's any current restrictions. I'm familiar with the property. There's two access points, one off Cedar Hill and one off Core Road. I don't know if that matters or not, but I'd at least like to raise the question of, is both for public, and we're not at a site plan or whatever, but are we using both for public interests? Would one be employee only, or kind of define those entrance usage?
I think that would have to be determined when Mr. Cowan put forth his site plan.
Okay. That definitely wouldn't be a determinant today, I don't believe. in
From
making a
what I
decision.
understand, the back was just going to be for bringing in supplies and materials for the roofing. I'm not 100% on that. That's just discussions.
Okay. That's just something to consider. You have more visibility. Of course, traffic likes to speed when they get off of business to Cedar Hill, but definitely you have more of a residential presence on that backside, and there's some curve around that area too. So that's the only reason why I asked, but glad to see a building not sit vacant. I am happy about that.
Yes, sir.
So will that be a residence and a business, or just a business?
No, ma'am, just residents. As far as we've been told, it's just, he's going to have like a showroom and storage.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
During the previous rezoning, there were two parcels that were subject to that rezoning. And if you look at, in your packet, there's a page that shows the map it's got pink on one side and yellow on the other. So the two adjacent parcels were rezoned together. The parcel to the east of our subject property here also obtained a special use permit as it had an existing dwelling on it that they wanted to continue to use as a residence. So that dwelling operates as a special use permit in that district. But no, this particular application is just for the one property. All right, any further discussion? All right, can we get a motion? Have we done everything? I think we've checked all the boxes.
So would the motion be, we approve to, if application is submitted, to move forward to the planning
You
commission?
would recommend that they move forward.
Okay.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion that the application be submitted to move to the Planning Commission, and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye. Very good. All right, Mr. Webster, as we discussed earlier, but say be in touch on your next steps, so we'll get that done shortly. Do we have any general public comment? General public comment? All right. Hearing none, can we get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All right, motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all.